FCE exam once again, and this is part 6 of the reading and use of English paper. Remember that the first 4 parts are use of English and the last 3 parts, 5, 6 and 7, are reading. Now in part 6, you have quite a tricky task. You have some kind of text and there are pieces missing from the text, and you're given, I think it's 7 different excerpts, and you have to choose 6 of them and put them in the correct positions in the text. So let's have a look at what kind of tactics you can use for this task, because there are some good tactics to follow. So firstly, you will see when we look here, and you can see the missing parts are here, 37, 39, 40. I've tried to make it as big as possible, but you can see there are some missing parts here. This is where we need to put the text in. And here are the 7 excerpts. Now, there are only 6 that you need to use. So one of those answers is there just to distract you. It's there to make you choose it, even though it's wrong. It doesn't fit in any of the gaps. And we'll see which one that is. You might be able to guess which one it is already, just looking at that. But we're going to put those parts in. I'll read through it slowly, and hopefully you will see as we go along that I have got some advice that I can give you if you're going to take this exam. And I mean, I've got some advice for how you can find the right answer. So let's read through it, and we'll go through it step by step. So what we ballet dancers do is instinctive, but instinct learnt through a decade of training. This is something that is the main idea here, which is why it's in the introduction, because in the introduction you should be letting the reader know what the essay is about. So a dancer's life is hard to understand and easy to misinterpret. Notice the parallel structure: hard to understand, easy to misinterpret. Many a poet and a novelist has tried to do so, but even they have chosen to interpret all the hard work and physical discipline as obsessive. And so the idea persists that dancers spend every waking hour in pain, bodies at breaking point, their smiles are pretense. It's a lovely sentence, and I want to just let you know that that's an absolute phrase, bodies at breaking point, and their smiles are pretense. That's an absolute phrase as well, and it sounds lovely with bodies and smiles at the end. And I've highlighted the idea persists, that, because this is the main idea of the essay. We're going to refer to this idea in a second, but this is what the essay is about. The writer is clearly a ballet dancer, because we start with what we ballet dancers do is instinctive. So the writer is a ballet dancer, and he or she, I'm not sure on the gender, but he or she wants to explain that the stereotype that dancers, ballet dancers, have to go through a lot of pain and suffering is actually wrong. They certainly have to go through a lot of physical discipline, but the idea that that their bodies are at breaking point and their smiles are pretense, their smiles are fake, is wrong. They actually enjoy what they do, and I'm sure the writer is correct. So, as a former dancer in the Royal Ballet Company here in Britain, I would beg to question this. Now, maybe you've not heard the phrase beg to question, but here he just wants to say, I would question this, yeah? I would question this idea, yeah? And so he's saying, I don't think it's true that ballet dancers spend every waking hour in pain, with their bodies at breaking point and with their smiles fake, yeah, a pretense. So we're looking for a missing part, yeah, a missing piece of text that certainly ties in with this pronoun. On this part of the exam, keep an eye on the pronouns. They're really important on this part of the exam, and that's why I've highlighted this, yeah, because, well, I would beg to question what? Well, the idea that dancers spend every waking hour in pain. So we need something to go into 37 that follows on from this questioning of the idea that dancers spend every waking hour in pain. And notice the line after the missing text as well, because I want you to focus on the line before and the line after, because that will help you find the missing piece. So with expert teaching and daily practice, its various demands. Okay, we need that it's to refer to something. And at the moment, I don't know what it is. So I've got to find it down here in one of these excerpts. Now let's have a look. Through endless tries at the usual exercises and frequent failures, ballet dancers develop the neural pathways in the brain necessary to control accurate, fast, and smooth movement. The its couldn't possibly, what's various demands are easily within the capacity of the healthy human body. Well, it doesn't make it clear here what the its would be referring to, because it's mentioning ballet dancers, not things, but people. So I can't see that it's A. B, the ballet shoe offers some support, but the real strength is in the muscles built up through training. Okay, is it talking about the ballet shoe that it's... Doesn't seem to be, yeah. I mean, like, the ballet shoe doesn't have various demands, and so it doesn't seem to be B. C, as technology takes away activity from the lives of many, perhaps the ballet dancer's physicality is ever more difficult for most people to imagine. So what does the its refer to here? Maybe technology? No, it doesn't seem to be going okay. Let's have a look at D. Ballet technique is certainly extreme, but it is not in itself dangerous. Notice the it and the itself already referring to ballet technique. So it sounds like this one might be okay. Let's put it in. So if we put in D here, can I write it on there? No? Okay. Wait, no. Well, forget it. So D for 37, let's read it aloud. As a former dancer in the Royal Ballet Company here in Britain, I would beg to question this. Ballet technique is certainly extreme, but it is not in itself dangerous. Okay, that sounds great, because I would beg to question this idea that ballet is painful and horrible, because ballet technique is extreme, but it's not dangerous. It's not in itself dangerous. And then that works really well with this its. Ballet techniques' various demands are easily within the capacity of the healthy human body. It sounds great. Let's do it. Let's put in D for 37. I'm not going to do it on that thing, whatever it is, but D for 37, certainly. And notice that I got the right answer by focusing on this and its, and on the pronouns down here in D, it and itself. And you can see that ballet technique is what we want here for 37 because it works for its. Okay, let's go on to the next paragraph. Over the course of my dancing life, comma, I worked my way through at least 10,000 ballet classes. I took my first at a school of dance at the age of 7, and my last 36 years later at the Royal Opera House in London. In the years between, ballet class was the first thing I did every day. It starts at an early age, this daily ritual. Notice this is an A positive. We're renaming the it. Yeah, we're renaming the daily ritual starts at an early age, but this is called extraposition, where you tell the person what the it is later in the sentence, and it's an A positive as well. But it starts at an early age, comma, this daily ritual, comma, because it has to. Now, I've highlighted this daily ritual because it's very important to get the right answer for this question. But for a ballet dancer in particular, this lengthy period. So we've got this daily ritual. We've got this lengthy period. We're looking for an answer which is referring to something that happens regularly every day, some form of training that goes on every single day. And we're looking for an answer that mentions some kind of long period of time. Let's see if we can find one. Okay, through endless tries at the usual exercises and frequent failures, ballet dancers develop the neural pathways in the brain necessary to control accurate, fast, and smooth movement. Okay, it does talk about a daily ritual there, through endless tries, frequent failures. That does sound like a daily ritual, but it doesn't mention any lengthy period. So let's carry on. The ballet shoe offers some support, but the real strength is in the muscles. Okay, no, nothing about lengthy period, nothing about daily ritual. As technology takes away activity from the lives of many, perhaps a ballet dancer's physicality is ever more difficult for most people to imagine. Nothing about daily ritual, nothing about lengthy period. We've used D, so let's go on. The principle is identical in the gym. Pushing yourself to the limit, but not beyond, will eventually bring the desired result. Nothing about a lengthy period. Kind of mentioning the daily ritual, because it is talking about pushing yourself to the limit, but not beyond. And perhaps that of course, is part of the training. Let's try F. No one avoids this. Maybe it means the daily ritual. Yeah, no one avoids the daily ritual. It is ballet's great democratizer. The well-established members of the company working alongside the newest recruits. Okay, it doesn't mention a lengthy period. It would work with daily ritual because it's kind of saying no one avoids the daily ritual. But it doesn't work. It doesn't mention any kind of lengthy period. So it sounds strange to say in the next sentence, this lengthy period. Which lengthy period? We haven't mentioned anything. Let's look at G. It takes a decade. 10 years. Yeah, a decade. That sounds like a lengthy period. It takes at least a decade of high quality, regular practice. Regular practice sounds like the daily ritual that you have to go through. So it takes at least a decade of high quality, regular practice to become an expert in any physical discipline. Of course it does. So G fits in very nicely here. Yeah, it starts at an early age, this daily ritual, because it has to. It takes at least a decade of high quality, regular practice to become an expert in any physical discipline. But for a ballet dancer in particular, this lengthy period, the decade, guys, has to come before the effects of adolescence set in, while maximum flexibility can still be achieved. Okay, let's go on to the next paragraph. I'll quickly check that I haven't had any questions. So good morning, Romelia, Lolly. Kwang Hung, this isn't a book, Kwang Hung, it's an exam, and it's called the FCE exam, and some old rubbish from some spammer. Okay, so let's get back to the next one. Those first classes I took were remarkably similar to the last. In fact, taking into account the occasional new idea, ballet classes have changed little since 1820, when the details of ballet technique were first written down and are easily recognized in any country. Okay, now listen to this. This is probably the trickiest one, I think. Starting with the left hand on the bar. Now, that picture, I think, is showing the left hand on the bar. I'm not a ballet dancer, and I have no idea what the bar spelt like that is, but I assume it's like that thing that they hold on to. Yeah, so starting with the left hand on the bar, the routine unrolls some 75 minutes. Even the leading dancers have to do it. Yeah, so we want something perhaps that's talking about this starting with the left hand on the bar that I don't know anything about. And maybe something that ties in with leading dancers. And we need to know what this it is. It probably is starting with the left hand on the bar. It's probably the routine, yeah? But we might be looking for an answer which refers to that routine. So let's go down and have a look. So A, through endless tries, frequent failures, ballet dancers develop the neural pathways in the brain necessary. Doesn't sound like A, does it, really? Doesn't sound like that, because it doesn't mention any of that starting with the left hand on the bar. B also doesn't sound good. The ballet shoe offers some support, but the real strength is in the muscles built up through training. Doesn't seem to fit in here. C, as technology takes away activity from the lives of many, perhaps the ballet dancer's physicality is ever more difficult for most people to imagine. Doesn't seem to mention anything about this left hand on the bar. So we've already used a D. The principle is identical in the gym. Pushing yourself to the limit, but not beyond, will eventually bring the desired result. Okay, doesn't seem to mention anything. I mean, is the principle the left hand on the bar? No, that's not a principle, is it really? And so it's not talking about a principle here, but more a routine. The routine, yeah, that hasn't changed for hundreds of years. Let's go on to F. No one avoids this. Okay, what does the this refer to? Maybe it refers to the routine that has been around since 1820, yeah? Maybe it refers to this routine that has been around for hundreds of years that starts with the left hand on the bar. So no one avoids this, starting with the left hand on the bar. It is ballet's great democratizer. The well-established members of the company working alongside the newest recruits. Even the leading dancers, the well-established members, the newest recruits, the leading dancers. Yes, this is the one we're looking for. We need F in 39, and it's because it fits in so nicely when you're look out for things like this, guys. When you mention, the well-established members, the newest recruits, even the leading dancers have to do it. Start with the left hand on the bar. Yeah, so it's clearly F here. So we've had D, G, F. Okay, these classes serve two distinct purposes. Namely, yeah, that's what the colon means. They are the way we warm our bodies and the mechanism by which we improve basic technique. In class after class, we prove the old saying, practice makes perfect. And it is also this daily repetition. So we're looking for an answer which talks about this idea of repeating things every single day. makes you get really good at them. Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. It's if you do something every single day, you get very good at it. And I actually think all learning is repetition. Yeah, all education is repetition, all learning is repetition, and practice makes perfect. So let's see which answer fits in here. Through endless tries at the usual exercises and frequent failures. Isn't this practice makes perfect, guys? Endless frequent failures. Ballet dancers develop the neural pathways in the brain necessary to control accurate, fast, and smooth movement. Isn't this telling us about practice makes perfect? It's describing it perfectly. Yeah, it's endless tries and frequent failures at the usual exercises. This is practice makes perfect. So this is the correct answer here, guys. And certainly daily repetition, endless tries, frequent failures. Yeah, when it says this daily repetition, it means this, the endless tries, the frequent failures. This is what helps them develop the neural pathways to control accurate, fast, and smooth movement. So we got A in for 40. The human body is designed to adapt to the demands we make of it, provided we make them carefully and over time. Okay, that's important. Yeah, we're looking for an answer that perhaps ties in with this idea that to train, we need to push our body to some kind of limit, but carefully and for a very long time. So let's see if we can find an answer that responds to that fits in well with this. Okay, so let's go down. So we've already used A. We're not going to look at that. B, the ballet shoe offers some support. It's funny to suddenly start talking about a shoe after talking about the human body. B is out. Yeah, I don't think we haven't used C yet. So as technology takes away activity from the lives of many, okay, perhaps a ballet dancer's physicality is ever more difficult for most people to imagine. That seems to be making a very different point, that technology makes us all lazy and makes us all sit on our bums all the time. So it's not C, really. D, we've already used. E, we've... Okay, we haven't already used E. Let's see if this one works. The principle is identical in the gym. Pushing yourself to the limit, but not beyond, will eventually, over time, eventually bring the desired result. In the same way, all those years of classes add up to a fit-for-purpose dancing machine. So yeah, this is the one which fits in here. We need E for this answer. The principle, which principle? The principle of the body is able to do all sorts of amazing things as long as you push it to the limit slowly, over time, carefully. Yeah, not too quickly. So the principle is identical in the gym. Pushing yourself to the limit, but not beyond, will bring the desired result. Okay, so we've used E now. And last one here. Something's missing, but they should not be misled. Okay, here's a big clue, guys. They is a pronoun and it's referring to somebody. You can't just say they without saying who first. Yeah, so we're looking for an answer in 42 that mentions some plural noun which they can refer to. Now we've already used B, we've already used we haven't used B and we haven't used C. They're the only two left. We've used all the other answers. We've just got B and C left to choose from. So the ballet shoe offers some support, but the real strength is in the muscles. So muscles is a plural noun. Maybe the they refers to muscles, but muscles should not be misled. No, muscles can't be misled. Let's try it. C. As technology takes away activity from the lives of many, well, many is a pronoun referring to people. Perhaps the ballet dancer's physicality is ever more difficult for most people to imagine, but most people, should not be misled. Yep, it's definitely got to be C. Yeah. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Don't know how to go to undo. There we go. So C is certainly the correct answer for the last one there for 42. Now, I hope you can see I made this class to try to show you how to do part 6. Yeah, and one thing that's so important in part 6, pronouns. Look out for pronouns. Look out for this, it, they, their, our. These words are clues. They will help you make the connection between the missing piece of text and the main text. Look for the pronouns. That's my main message. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll be back later for another class. See you soon.